Hello everyone, my name is Michael,
And my name is Ethan.
and welcome to the Ruinous Outtakes. It's good to see you all again for this episode 3 of the Ruinous Outtakes.
Yep.
And without further delay, let's jump straight into the meat and potatoes of the episode. On this episode,
Yep.
on the Ruinous Outtakes, we will be discussing Psykers, a specific type of person in the Warhammer 40k universe.
The spooky guys, the guys that wizards, actually to be fair, the boogeymen and the people that the boogeymen hunt.
Hmm. All of the above, which is
Yeah.
magic, psychers, sorcery, all the sorts. Not good.
And what happens when you find a psyker and then you don't tell anyone that you found one?
It may or may not be a bolt round. But before we could get into confirming that suspicion, we do need to talk about what happened last time.
So let's.
Yeah.
What happened last time, Michael?
Well, last time on the Ruinous Outcome, it was the aftermath of a very, very bad crash. On episode 3 of the Ruinous Outcome, it starts off at the beginning of a very nasty crash. The group of players who were together have crash landed right in front of the one who was removed, which was your character, Ethan. Amoros Agalade.
Who no one can forget the name of, and that won't change at all
Nope.
throughout this entire series. No.
I remembered.
Yeah, exclusively. Episode 4 will give you great context for what we're talking about.
Yes. But while we were, stuck in the rain, Bondsman Amoros was so kind as to offer our group aid, that he would go ahead to the city and ask for transport.
Yeah, because it made no sense. Also, rain happened.
The acid rain is very bad.
Yes, acid rain. You ever heard of Venus? Yeah.
Not a very nice place to live, so I've heard.
No, to be fair, I mean, but when I was younger, I heard it was quite nice, but something happened, so I went to shit. So Amaris went on his jolly way.
That he did.
You know, he left the group to in hope that they would survive. On his little jolly jaunt, whilst everything was going absolutely very well and non-problematic for him. For the group, everything was going quite upside down and fairly problematic for them, as their engineer Rob Nellix, and that's the correct name for him. Turned out to be an agent for the dark side. Shit, the agent for the Immaterium.
An agent for the foul forces of chaos.
Yes. We assume Nurgle, but who could say? Probably the flavored and the casualties that he caused.
And the spell that made me throw up.
Yes. But who can say?
Who could say? But while you were on your jaunt and we were fighting for our lives, I do believe you encountered a transport of Mechanicum.
A massive cohort. They were like moving a whole fortress, I'm fairly certain. It was literally like the size of our biggest knight, or even taller. So I patched in. I said, "Oi, oi, what are you doing?" And they said, "Hey, we're going to survey the world and see if we can figure out what caused Agalia, the planet, to turn so wrong." And Amaros was like, "Oh, that's awesome." Well, he didn't really care, but he also said, "Oh, that's okay. Can you go send like one of your little transport vehicles, this many clicks that way, to save these people?" And Amaros had to do a little persuading, saying, "Hey, I'll give you some. I'll make it worth your while." But eventually that worked, and they sent some people that way.
Thankfully, they did, because the storm showed absolutely no signs of dissipating. We were very much injured and in need of medical attention. They arrived just in the nick of time to begin our transport all the way to the Agalade. What would you call it? The
household home,
household estate.
House fortress.
The Agalade Fortress. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Upon arrival to this fortress, we are met with Agalius Agalade himself, someone whose physical proportions very much did not match their face.
Head of Jabba the Hutt, body of Michael Phelps.
Olympic swimmer.
Olympic swimmer.
After a very uncomfortable meeting with him and a tradition of watching him eat, apparently, we are sent over to his brother, Antario Agalade, who seems a lot more competent and nice.
Amaros makes multiple snide remarks, explaining how he quite hates the situation of the house right now. And
Understandably.
Antario gives us a little job, well, the primary job of why Amaros was brought home from a frontier, along with the small retinue of people that survives, including the two Tempestor Scions that survives the crash all the way back in episode 2, and also Gallius, Royce, and Barometrius.
Yes.
And we also learn that we're going to be accompanied by cousin Asbestos. Asbestos spelt with a PH.
Yep. However, before he decides to enclose the entire details of the mission, he decides to let us rest up and lick our wounds.
Because somebody fell unconscious for the first time that episode.
Me! With that recap all out of the way, and now you know what happened last time, let's move on to the topic of today's video, being
Psykers! Woo!
Psykers, to put in a very quick and concise sentence, those who draw power from hell to cast spells.
Yeah. Effectively, if you imagine, Christianity was right. We all have souls. Some people have like significantly more volatile souls. They can harness the magics of hell.
Yep. Or the warp, whatever you want to call it.
Yes. Literally, just pull a little bit out of it and manipulate it to do a good few different things. Marco knows a lot more than I do.
I do know a fair bit
but
about
I'm
Psykers.
here. I am here as the surrogate audience member.
Being a psyker typically has limitless outcomes to what you can exactly do with it. It's just depending on the scale of what you're trying to do and how much power you can put out with your gifts before bad things occur. This could be anything to do with pyromancy or geomancy. You could even look into the future, maybe even conjure a solid wall of force.
But out of curiosity, because this is a question I actually do have, what is the sort of expected lower range and higher range of a psycho?
Right, so lower range psykers can go their entire lives without themselves or anyone even picking up on it. Sometimes something weird will happen when they get stressed or angered, pushed into a corner, like a pot or a pan will fly off the side of a counter, or in the middle of a battlefield, an enemy's head will just explode, to which people just mistake it as a fellow soldier fighting. It's very small, subtle things that they can't really control that are triggered by emotional pushes.
It's like the dark side.
Yeah, in a way. However, if we're going immediately to the other side of the scale of upper end psykers, we're talking people who could genuinely tear holes in reality with a flick of the wrist. Warp storms, lightning bolts, the ability to turn a human into a demon against their will is effortless.
Okay, but just for clarity and the listener's sake, and also mine, that would be hard to do. Okay, because I do know about something, and I don't know if this has been omitted. One fun fact about 40k that we all know is that the canon is as rigid as House of Cards, and often things will be changed.
Yes.
But I do remember something along the lines of when somebody is a psyker, they are more vulnerable to a demon taking control of them and turning them into a portal, which just sort of opens up a small berth of hell.
Yes. So when you open the door to... So imagine the gap between the warp and real space is a door. The Psykers have the key to this door. And when they open that door to get something from the other side, something from there can come through. Yeah, because warp entities don't typically have physical forms, they'll need to take one. That being you, the Psyker.
Ah. That applies to demons as well?
Yes, so demons technically aren't physical.
Right, they're thought beings.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, amongst the four demon gods, there's like Nurgle,
Yep.
and there's like a plague. There's like a plague bearer. That's the demon one, right?
Yes, I believe so.
So, so like that's not really a real guy. You shoot at it. You're kind of shooting at the concept of sickness given shape,
Yes, but everyone can see it.
right?
It's visible to all, but its physical form isn't really there. When you kill it, you're not killing a body. You are destroying energies from the other side.
And then it just goes home,
Yeah, it just goes home.
unless you kill it at home.
Yes, unless you kill it in the warp, the demon will come back.
Okay,
Yeah.
this makes sense.
Yes.
This is D&D logic.
Yeah, in a way. More things about psychers being that the more powerful they are, the harder it is for people to control them.
When you say people,
Demons.
do you mean like? Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know why I'm calling them people. Technically, because they are soul beings.
Filthy beings.
Filthy demons. The more potent your psychic powers, the harder it is for a demon to get their hands on you.
Okay. I suppose this makes sense. I would have assumed it'd be the other way around.
Yes. So in some cases, yes, if the powerful psyker decides to start channeling everything they have, they're not opening a door, they're tearing down the wall of a skyscraper.
Okay, so here's how I'm sort of understanding this idea then. So to be a powerful psyker, it seems kind of a bit like a luck of the draw, but the longer you live, odds are the more it can amplify over time.
Yeah.
So the reason why like big, strong, powerful psychers don't often get taken over by a demon might himself more be because they've had time to practice and know the limitations to put onto themselves.
Yes.
But at any one moment, like an example we will later get into, that's doesn't mean that that's their sort of threshold of power. That's the safe threshold of power.
Yes. But
Okay.
casting spells isn't an exact science, as any single time that you do try and access the power of the warp, it could manifest wrong. We call these perils.
Because warp, not consistent. Traveling through it, effectively time travel.
Yeah.
Trying to turn it into a fireball. It might just turn into
A little guy.
a black hole.
Yep, that too.
Anything can happen because you're harnessing the concept of
Chaos.
pure creation, like without boundary.
Yeah.
So you gotta be good at it. Okay. So now that we kind of have the base ground concept of what a psyker is and their sort of expected limitations, we're gonna go through the different factions.
Yeah.
I suppose we'll start with the greater factions and then sort of hone in and explain what their sort of
Psyker
modus
equivalents.
is. Yeah, and like what maybe the life cycle of that specific type of psyker might look like, because it's very different for each faction, and I know that. And also this will be a good way to sort of break down some tiny little informations about the different factions as well, I suppose.
Yeah, well, at least the ones that have psychers.
Yeah, I mean, like we could talk about the Necrons being they kind of have psychers in the way that they have just super high advanced science and fractions of gods that effectively are psychers.
Yeah.
So let's start with the Imperium, because who doesn't like being narcissistic and starting at home?
I know, right? So we'll start with the Imperial Guard, or just the humans. What happens
Yeah,
to
the
their
everyday
psychers?
man, humans.
The psychers of the Imperial Guard are sanctioned, which means that they are put through rigorous tests and training to make sure that they can, in fact, control their powers to an adequate degree so they don't blow up their entire force.
They're also quite weak.
Yes. They aren't very strong. That's because the sanction process kind of puts a limit on their powers so they don't overdo it. Because you don't want to have some random Joe on a front line accidentally summon Be'lakor.
Yeah, a guy that we can talk about, maybe. Just imagining like there's a bunch of guys. You're in the guardsman regiment. You're shooting alongside a bunch of your battle brothers, kind of, and then you see the sanctioned psyker. He sends a lightning bolt at one guy. He sends a lightning bolt at another guy, and then as he proceeds to try and do it one more time, his hand turns into a giant mouth and starts it like detaches and then starts running around trying to eat people as it progressively grows. Something that possibly could happen in the 40k universe.
Yep. Seems like a Zinj thing to do.
I wonder who I like the most. Okay, well you said something about being a sanction psyker. Sanction kind of makes me assume that somebody is sort of like allowed to be a psyker. How does that kind of process like where does that start?
Well, first of all, the Inquisition, while they're on their travels, keep their eyes peeled for anyone with talents and gifts.
Like Royce?
I don't think he's a psyker, but he would be one who's actively keeping an eye out for anyone who's not on the Imperium's radar. They like to keep a track of their world-ending people.
Okay.
But when they are found to be of adequate strength, the admittedly terrifying black ships come along to planets and will take by force these psykers, untrained. The ship is then hauled with thousands of them at a time back to Terra, which are either trained to be sanctioned, either to go into the Imperial Guard or become like a astropath, or they are sacrificed to the Emperor of Mankind, who requires 1,000 psyker souls each day.
Right. And this we could talk about this Emperor fellow like we don't know who he is, but I feel like he has to kind of. Suppose that we get to a point where whoa stutters the ruinous outcome is very popular and people are like, oh, why don't you tell us about this? We can go into that, but just know it will be long.
Yeah. I mean,
he is the psyker.
I talked very vaguely about the Emperor in the last episode, so if you want a tiny bit of information on him, you can go back there. But if you want a whole video on him, it will take a whole video.
But hey, I mean, if you want that, by all means, get this video to
something
100 likes.
100 likes, and I go deep diving into the Emperor.
We'll help. We'll help.
Yeah.
I'll help.
Okay.
Jay will also help. Finn probably won't. Reese is busy.
But yes, another
sacrifice to the God Emperor of Mankind, the psykerist psyker of humanity.
Yes.
Who is currently interred on a chair.
On a chair, which is keeping him alive.
And you know how we mentioned way back, an episode ago, about traveling through the warp? The only reason why we can do that, at least for the half of the galaxy, is because of him. He is a navigation point, the North Star.
Yes. Another thing, so sanctioned psykers don't have to go into the Imperial Guard. Like I said, they could become astropaths, which are the Warhammer equivalent of phones.
I didn't know this. I actually didn't know this. This is fucking hilarious.
So yeah, the astropaths are responsible for communication among the Imperium. They use their psychic gifts to transfer messages to other astropaths or technological screens. They often require a huge choir of them, like 10 or 12, just to send one message.
I'm just thinking about the most stupidest sort of like, because like we all use our phones nowadays.
Yeah.
What's the sort of like weirdest thing for like a choir of people to be saying that somebody said this? I just imagining sexting.
Yeah, they're just
through like an astropath.
Choir? Astropath, describe my genitalia to this person.
Lady Janix, Lord Boink wants to say his scrot is wet for you. Yeah. Lady Janix has blocked you.
There are of course like laws against using astropaths for something irrelevant. They are meant to be used as great tools of communicating hundreds of planets across, sometimes even the whole galaxy.
Nah, buddy. Lord Boink.
Lord Boink.
Royce will be visiting Lord Boink.
Yeah, he will. For accusations of heresy.
Yes.
But right.
Sexual heresy.
That's what we call Slanesh worship, buddy.
Yes. True.
If you want more
Uh,
information on the Chaos Gods, let us know.
Jesus Christ, there's so many plugs. Guys, how about this? You want us to talk on a subject matter? Emperor, 100 likes. Anything else? Say in the comment section. Just say it.
Yeah.
We'll get to it. If we mention something, just ask.
Yeah. But with that done, we can move on to the other part of Imperial Psykers, that being the
Yes.
librarians of the Space Marines.
Yes, I was thinking if there was another psyker. I can't think of any one specific one. No, you're right. Yes. Navigators, technically, but still, yes.
Yeah, we'll do those after the Space Marines because they're technically their own faction. Like knights, they have their own households. But first, librarians.
Barometrius 67, tanky as he is. Now he can cast spells. Run for
Yeah.
your life.
If he was one.
If he was one.
Yeah.
Same sort of song and dance, really. Just they're hyper augmented, so they're significantly better at this. There's a whole Space Marine troop who is very attuned to becoming psychers. Unfortunately, though, they are not. They don't fight for the Imperium.
No. Librarians have a bunch of different gear: force staves, force weapons, psychic hoods, anything to sort of mitigate the downsides of the warp so they can aid their battle brothers.
And also, force weapons, I believe, are actually also stronger the stronger psyker you are.
Yes, they are conduits for your power. You channel your psychic energy into the sword, or axe, or staff, whatever you got, and you hack things to pieces.
Get toothpicked by the force toothpick. Yeah, so there's librarians, and then the sort of like square, is that right? Yeah. Like librarian squared would be the equivalent of either a Grey Knight, who we are going to talk over because I feel like it's necessary. They are the
Yes.
Imperium Psyker
The
Space Marines, or the Thousand Sons, who are unfortunately the bad boy Psyker Space Marines.
yes, both of whom are entire groups of Space Marines who are fully attuned.
Heavily psychically attuned.
Yeah.
Proficiency, expertise.
The Thousand Sons before the tragedy were 90% psychers. The Grey Knights are 100% psychers. There isn't a single one of them that can't access the Immaterium.
And they got their own specialized weapons that are like force weapons, but even stronger, called psi weapons.
Yeah. It doesn't just pertain to melee. They can use ranged attacks as well, like the Silencer, which is, I'm fairly certain, the Gatling gun.
I wouldn't know. Unfortunately, this is not my ball house.
It is
This
not
is
mine
Reese's
either.
ball house. We would lovely listeners. I already know that I said hey, ask us, but we'll probably maybe get Reese to talk on the Grey Knights because I'm sure he knows bouts about them.
Yeah. Look forward to that in a
And
future
the Thousand
episode.
Sons, because those are the ones he collects.
Moving on to the last Imperial Psyker is the Navigator. These are mutants, actually.
You know how we mentioned before that the Emperor is the North Star? These guys are the ones that have the opportunity to see it, or the ones that can see it. Because if you look into the warp, usually you'll go mad.
Yes, they are able to do
These
it.
guys can.
Yeah, they're able to do it because of their mutations and their third eye. Which,
That's the thing.
if anyone looks into said third eye, will be looking straight into the warp and probably die.
A fun way to go.
Yeah.
Why not? You just imagine like dapping someone up, and then you like, because you've never met them, but you're like, I don't know, he seems chill, and then you look up and you see his third eye, and then you proceed to shrivel like a raisin.
Yep. The navigators are entirely responsible for guiding ships through the Immaterium. Yeah, warp travel would be impossible without them.
Yep. And what's also fun about them is that they've unionized. They have a guild.
Yeah, technically. Most of them have noble households on space stations, as mutants aren't really accepted within the confines of the Imperium.
With few exceptions, because they're just too helpful.
Yeah. Ratlings, Ogrins, Navigators, and a
Cat
couple
girls,
others.
apparently.
I'm not sure about that one, but I could be proved
They
wrong.
exist, apparently. And I hate it.
I thought they were fake. Oh well.
No, they're real. They come from a single planet.
A single planet. Okay,
One single planet.
fair enough. But with all the Imperium's list of psychers, we can move on to another faction, some aliens, some Xenos. Simply going by the ones I know the most of, would be the Eldar.
Powerhouse Psykers. They are the Xenos Psyker faction.
Yes, they are older than humanity itself and most other factions. They believe
Yep.
themselves quite superior to everything. But this isn't the Eldar deep dive. This is more so talking about their
Eldar Psyker.
their two class of psychers, which are warlocks and farseers.
Michael knows everything, I know none, so he shall
Yeah.
talk now and I'll ask questions.
Okay. Well, I don't know much. This is from what I've gathered from my very small knowledge. But warlocks are Eldar who use the warp and the webway to craft physical spells, stuff like lightning bolts, fireballs, basically your offensive spellcaster. The Farseers, on the other hand, are those who can see vaguely into the future and perform more support-based spells, sort of speeding up their units, giving them the strength of their gods, all that kind of stuff.
Is that the extent we know?
That's the extent I know, but it would be
That's
wrong.
unfortunate.
It'd be
but
wrong not to
okay.
cover them.
Fair. I think I remember possibly that Wraith Knights need Psykers to be piloted.
Yes, a Spirit Seer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Wraith Knights, Wraith Lords, any of their giant constructs require
You know
something
how
called
Amoros uses a thing called an armiger, and that's like a little scout walkie tank, and then I said there were bigger ones. The Eldar have bigger ones as well. Those are Wraith Knights.
yeah. The Spirit Seers are able to control squads of these at a time, but because it's one person who's not in the shell, getting rid of him kind of just shuts them down.
Yeah. It's called Wraithbone magic.
Wraithbone is a material that they use to construct various things. But we're getting
Yeah,
off
they
topic.
put somebody's soul into a ship, and it's considered the most hateful machine that the Eldar use. It's really funny.
But we're getting sidetracked. Next
I
up
suppose so.
is the Tyranids.
Ooh, these ones are fun.
Yes.
You know how like being a psyker is a coin flip? Tyrannid said nah.
The warp is kind of too afraid to touch them, really.
Ironically, actually, what's the way to put it? The warp recoils to the Tyrannids.
Yes.
Like they just shut it down. You're a psyker, and you're like a Tyrannid fleet's on its way. Unfortunately, everyone who is within the middle range of psykers will now proceed to die a very painful death as they hear incoherent static mixed with biological screams.
Hello, Jay, resident Tyrannid collector, quickly jumping in to say this isn't actually true. They don't all start exploding. It's more just blocks psychic communications, and they don't actually hear anything. That's sort of the scary part about it for psychers is normally they would be having all this psychic noise and chatter going through their heads, especially those like the astropaths. But when the Tyrannid shadow of the warp has arrived, everything just sort of goes dead silent. Okay, J interruption done. Back to everyone else.
Yes. The hive mind itself acts as sort of like a blanket. Or
That's just the shadow in the warp.
yes. It sort of the hive fleet as like a ship sort of block psychic powers getting through, which is why when they attack a world, they try and encase it so astropaths can't call for help.
No more sexts.
Nope, no more. Poor guy.
Got gene stealed.
Oh no. His transmitted picture of his nether regions.
He's boing boing.
It got intercepted by the Hive Fleet, and they sent a lictor to say, "Nice cock."
Yeah, exactly. He was not scared. He was aroused. He's got problems.
He didn't live long enough. But the Tyranids, sort of they adapt. They eat biomass, and they create new ways of fighting around said biomass.
Referred to as bioforms.
Yes. They ate a lot of psychers and were like, hey, we can do this too. and the
Yep.
zoanthrope was made.
Pay no attention to the fact that somehow they're able to shadow the warp, but not for these guys as an exception.
Yep.
What? Huh?
These
Okay.
zoanthropes are very powerful psykers, and typically only know like 1 or 2 spells, specifically pertaining to the biomass they were fed.
But there's also the neurothropes and the neurotyrant.
Yes.
I think maybe also the new really big one, the Norn Assimilator, might be psychic.
The Norn emissary is the psychic one. The assimilator is the physical one.
Right.
They've been eating a lot more psykers recently.
They have. We mentioned it very briefly in episode 1 when I asked, what year is it? Like, when are we? To sort of simplify, the galaxy got cracked in half, and now psykers are rampant and stronger.
Yes. But yeah, as far as psychic powers go, that's all the Tyranids really have. And now, well, so the next psyker on the list belongs to the Orc faction, the Weird Boy. Orcs are very strange. Their connection to the warp is odd. They can't really fall for the Chaos God's temptations, as all they want in life is a good scrap. The Weird Boys draw on not warp energy, but Wa energy, which is the collection of all the souls of the orcs all together in one big mass to bring down the righteous fury of their 2 gods, Gork and Mork. We're talking belching out poison, summoning healing mushrooms,
Turning people into squigs.
Summoning a giant foot in the sky to land on your opponents. However, they're a lot more volatile. They don't really know what they're doing. They just know they're doing it well, and that's in loose terms. As far as I'm aware, that is all the psykers that orcs have, being the Weird Boys.
Weird Boys, yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
There might be some instances of a Weird Boy boss, but we can talk on that if we can find that and people are interested enough to see that.
Yes.
Now, we got some other factions. Michael, I'm going to say this, and I hope you don't cut this, but Michael was like, I think that's everything. But then I was like, no.
Yes.
No.
I did miss a few.
And also blanks. We need to talk on them.
Well, no, I was saying that was the last psyker.
Okay, fair enough. So, firstly, the Leagues of Votan, which is a very new faction, a very, very new faction. So, I've just looked into this because Michael was like, that's it. No, okay, so the Votan are technically speaking, they're not psychic because all of the Votan are clones. So, what it is that a thing called a Grimnir, which is technically their psyker, their technical instance of a psyker, is just a very, very old Votan that hasn't been put through the blender very recently and has the ability to access warp technology. So they do pretty much most everything that all other psykers can do, but with tech as opposed to by being an actual psyker.
Right. Okay. That's actually really cool.
Michael learned something today.
I did.
The host learned. Yeah.
I don't
Because
actually...
all the Votan are clones, they get fed into the Votan cores.
Yes.
We can do a Votan episode. I know a lot about them. I will host it.
Yes. I actually know very little about the Votan, so I'll be more than happy to listen to your description of them.
Cool. And then we've got to talk about the last Xenos faction, and then we can go right into Chaos, because although they seem like they cover very similar bases, because most often than not they are the Imperium, but they have decided to work on the bad boy side, there are some instances where there are Psykers, but Necrons are the most anti-Psyker faction you kind of can be, because their entire shtick is technology as opposed to psychics, because they don't have souls. Like, even the Admech, they have souls. Necrons don't. They're imprints of the mental consciousnesses plugged into simulacrums that used to look like humans, but then the skin rotted away, and now they're just metal machines that just won't die. With an exception, because technically speaking, with the Chaos Gods of the Immaterium, we got the gods of the Materium, which are the Catan, which they use, and they can cast spells.
Yes.
It's all really iffy. This is another episode which I would be happy to talk on, but it's a very long talk.
Yes, Necrons have very, very long, extensive lore because they're as old, if not slightly younger, than the Eldar.
No, they're older than the Eldar, you dingus.
Oh, fair enough.
The Eldar were made to kill the Necrons.
I thought it was the Orcs that were made to kill the Eldar because they were Crocs back
They
then.
both were.
Fair enough.
It was the Aldari and the Crocs were both made, amongst other species, which were genocided, but those were the ones that survived to kill them. We should probably talk about the Great Ones as well, maybe. Just a brief mention. But the Necrons were fighting against super powerful, omnipotent space frogs, who were Psykers.
Yes, the old ones.
That's all you need to know about them. They're dead.
Yeah, long gone.
The Necrons killed them with the Catan, and then they killed the Catan, and then they went to sleep. But that's not relevant because this is about Psykers. So now we get to talk about the biggest boys, the boyiest boys.
The Chaos
Let's
boys.
talk about the most antiest boy firstly, because there's only one person who refuses to use Psykers, and that's Khorne. He doesn't like Psykers. Everyone else is interesting.
Hey!
Well, listen, alright? This is the Psyker episode. He can get his flowers when we talk about Khorne.
Okay, fair enough.
We could talk about... Fair. Let's talk about the least favourite beyond Khorne, which is obviously Sinesh. Sinesh is Temptation. So Temptation magic. Think about speed. Think about excessive and hurtful like attacks. Stuff where it takes a very long time to draw you to your incredibly painful end. All that stuff to amplify getting to that point. We got Noigel. Noigel, spelt Nurgle, Nurgle. His entire thing is about pestilence and rot.
And stagnation.
Being able to... And stagnation. And death. And the absence of death. With his entire sort of shtick. With magic providing resilience and durability. And spreading diseases. And I know a lot about Tzeentch as well, so by all means we can host an episode where I talk about Tzeentch. We can really see which factions I cared about at the time. But Tzeentch's entire thing is that he is the god of magic. So in all intents and purposes, he is the psyker. He is the god of psychics. He knew every spell. He currently doesn't know every spell because he kind of threw those all to the wind, but don't worry, he's got 2 guys going around the entire galaxy trying to find them all again.
He did this on purpose.
He did this on purpose because he wanted to continue having fun as opposed to let the game end, and we will not elaborate on that because you'll have to listen to another episode to learn on such things. Yes. So, magic, his entire sort of magical shtick, is something often based around doing fire, mutating things, very, very Cthulhuan. I'd sort of describe it as very odd, because Tzeentch's entire scope is kind of like change. So his magic kind of revolves around change.
He can also look into the future and the past using his magic, as well as manipulating the minds of others.
Yep. He also has a thing referred to as the Bolt of Change, which is if we say that most people, when they're a psyker, the first thing they learn will be a smite. This is smite cubed.
Look at that baby thunderbolt you just casted. Observe.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And who'd have guessed, but the Thousand Suns is backed and sponsored by Tzeentch. So they're even more magical nowadays.
Yeah. Admittedly, he...
set limitations.
Yeah. He kind of screwed them over in that deal, but he screws everyone over, so...
Yeah, that's kind of his whole thing.
Yeah.
To be honest. Yeah. Well, we talked about all the psykers.
We have.
We could, I believe, at the very least, tell us if we're wrong. By all means, give us that engagement. We'd love to have it. We're just going to talk about what we mentioned before with psykers, is that they are sort of like, everyone has a soul. These people have more volatile souls.
Yes.
There are people who are the opposite, where they have lack thereof, very absent, blank pariahs. I'm using all the words which have previously been used to define such people. But effectively, yeah, these are people who do not have souls, effectively.
They're immune to the detection and sight of most psykers. They cause great discomfort to any and all around them.
And actually, in certain circumstances, incredible pain to psykers.
Yes.
So if you're a normal guy, you're just uncomfortable. Some people might hurt to look at or smell very bad. If you're a psyker, you will be clawing your eyes out just by being in their vicinity. They're like mental black holes.
Yeah, and there are like many different power levels of blanks. You got your standard blank, which you'll probably just find around the Imperium every now and then.
And then we have the blank gun assassin.
Yeah, I think it's the Colexis.
The Calidar, yeah, maybe. Vindicator is sniper. Alexis is. I think Alexis is change body.
Yeah, no, there's two that sound really similar. Yeah. Well, it's one of them, and
it's the Colexis.
Okay.
The Colexis assassin. Their entire thing is they've been juiced up to be the most blankiest blank ever, and then they have a blank gun connected to their head where they can pinpoint it at psykers and make them die.
I keep forgetting they have the gun mounted to their helmet.
It's literally the silliest thing, and I love it.
It is great because they are so invisible to the warp. Psykers just can't even see them.
Well, that, and also warp magic can't hurt them. It can't touch them
because in the Immaterium they aren't there.
Yeah, like the concept of I don't know, shooting out a hole.
Yeah.
Or peeing in an empty toilet. or alternatively, peeing, thinking there's a toilet there, but there isn't a toilet there.
And then everyone looks at you like you're crazy.
Yes, exactly. Because you're actually peeing at a toilet, but the thing is that toilet is a blank, so you can't see it.
One last instance of blanks that I know is the Sisters of Silence.
Yeah.
They're often paired alongside the Adeptus Custodes because the Custodians, while resilient to the warp, don't have psykers of their own, so they can't really...
They're not allowed to be.
Yeah.
Temptations.
Indeed. And so the Sisters of Silence are there to help patch it up and also just generally help out with any psyker-based problems going on in the galaxy.
So it prevents the Temptations from even getting close.
Yes.
We love to see it. Wow. That was awesome.
That was.
What a lovely video that we've done today.
That was.
And recording. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah,
now,
it's now time for the outro, I do believe. Unless there's anything else you want to mention.
Yeah, if you aren't subscribed, check that you are, because YouTube does this thing where they unsubscribe you if you don't engage with our content. And also, make sure to press the all notifications on the notifications bell, because it seems that people will be told that things are coming out, but they don't get shown it. So, by all means, if you want to see our stuff and you want to get it, the moment you can get it, you got to follow us on whatever podcasting platform you use, or specifically on YouTube, because we're on YouTube mostly. You got to press that bell, and you got to press all.
You can also find us on our social medias at TWO dndpodcast. Such platforms include Instagram, TikTok, Twitter/X. We have a Reddit, but don't go there.
Fun announcement, boys and girl. We've got us on podcast platform. No, one more time. Apple Podcasts.
Yippee!
Finally. It only took a year. So now, for all those Apple people, you can finally listen to our stuff, which is awesome. But that is everything as far as I'm aware, unless Michael tells me otherwise right now.
I think that's everything we need to cover before we close out. Thank you all very much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure to be your host again, and I'm glad you came along, Ethan. It's been a very fun experience, and I've learned things today, which is good.
Yeah, Votanna clones. Now, enjoy these outtakes, and we'll see you guys later. Bye!
Glory to the God Emperor!
You had 4 hands. No, not really, but one guy might have, and Ethan stepped on him.
Yeah. For the best.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. I forgot Ethan did anything this session.
No, yeah.
Hey, I'm fixing that this time.
Yeah, actually, it's just going to be
Is it?
me this entire...
Yeah.
Is it? We still don't even know if the ship he saw was our ship.
Yeah, you
No,
just,
different
guy, bro.
yeah, you just died in the crash.
Yeah, we died. We got vaporized on impact.
You guys are actually going to be the Christmas spirits for the rest
Yeah.
of the game.
Yeah.
Who would be past, who would be future, and who would be present?
Whatever it is, Reese is all of them.
Yep. I'm every single Christmas spirit. All
And
cracked
every
into
single
one.
Christmas spirit is mud.
I'm like Kairos Fate Weaver. Right? You know, I see the present, past, and the future all at the same time. I'm actually better than him.
Yeah.
I'm just a ghost.
It means you're the big poet, the good poet.
Oh, I'm
the
William
big one.
Shakespeare. Okay.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that'd be good.
It's okay. He'll be turned into a servitor.
Yeah.
He's a name. He of course will survive.
That's true.
I want him to leave planet by pissing so hard he goes into orbit.
Yeah.
I think that's the way he should
He'll
escape.
set fire as he leaves.
Yeah.
His stream runs out and comes plummeting back down.
Yeah.
Oh no.
He always leaves a little less in the tank for re-entry.
Ah, smart.
Yeah.
Are we going to start?
we are starting.
This is the midst
doing
of
recap.
the start. We got to tell us where we were to know where we will be.
Okay, so we've just crashed. So you lot have just crashed
I've not finished.
We're not
the
done
recap yet.
We'll get there.
Come on, Jay, face it up. Sorry.
Yeah. Finn's
You
the new-
do it or I'll do it.
Finn's the new DM now,
Yeah.
apparently.
Okay. So here you go. Here, have the screen. You can have my notes. I hope you like reading names.
And my character won the 40,000 and ran the Imperium.
Yeah,
It's all
Jay's
good.
character, his name is Warhammer.
Yeah.
So, basically, Royce leads everyone to the habitation domes. He immediately recognizes where the fact that there are gene stealers here, and then he awesomely kills them all. And
Sir, who are you talking to?
And that's the worst outcome, guys. Everybody really enjoyed it. This was great. 3 episodes strong.
does that count as a blooper?
Yes.
Yeah, schizophrenia.
This is literally the most sidetracked shit ever.
It gives me a story I could tell in the
Yeah,
outtakes.
sorry everyone. I actually slipped Finn a tab before we started.
I get the feeling
gave him a
a few
thumbs.
of us don't really want to record today.
I want to. I want to.
This room's really fucking hot.
That is true. Would you mind? Thank you.
Oh God.
Oh shit! The broom and the chair.
There's no broom.
There was a broom.
Schizophrenia.
Anyway,
I'm not schizophrenic.
That broom was
He's
my
schizophrenic
ex-wife.
and rich. That's his
Anyway.
stereotype. Hold on. Wait.
You merely adopted the bog. I was born in it.
Bog.
Because of the time stream, I've literally known nothing but like acid rain and lightning storms.
Yeah.
NBB, nothing but bog.
Well, there was that one time you left the planet and got trod on.
Oh yeah, but like I've known no different for home.
Yeah.
The one time I leave my room and this shit happens.
He's like
never again.
I get crated in by a larger walking vessel.
He's like the opposite of Batman. Batman's like parents got shot once, he never shot anyone again. No, he got trod on once, and now all he does is tread. All he does is just pure stomp.
The problem is you learn it's effective.
I mean, it is.
It is
I mean,
effective.
yeah, I mean, it definitely
on
works.
certain, not on something that's bigger than you. But
No,
yes.
no.
No,
If
no.
anything,
As you
the
would
rule is-
previously
yeah,
learn.
the rule is run away from anything larger, and anything small is fair game.
Yeah.
The Night Lord strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They like meet me and they're just like, "Oh, it's nice to meet you," and
It's
they
so-
stab the shit out of me before I can speak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
So we start from the perspective of whoever rolls highest. I don't know.
Oh, for fuck's sake, not again. Shit, I need to go.
Oh, nosebleed?
Nosebleed.
Oh damn.
Get him some paper.
Get him some bleed.
Get me out of here.
Let him out.
We start from the perspective of anyone who's not Finn. Keep going.
Yeah,
It's funny.
keep going.
Yeah,
Keep going.
he hit his head on the console. His nose.
Keep going.
His bones
Rox's
is
nose
needing.
is bleeding.
Use some toilet paper in the bathroom.
Yeah, thank you.
He had a Nurgle-induced stroke.
Oh no, not again.
Oh, blood nurgling sounds cool.
That does sound interesting.
Soppy wet.
Ugh.
Like, give it a day and he turns
goes-
solid.
Have you heard of the High Elves?
Yeah.
Heard they're reforming the Dawn Guard. Vampire hunters.
You should join.
Got something I need to give you. Your eyes only.
You're high only.
Jesus.
That's what you did afterwards. Sorry, that was a mod I installed.
Eastward.
I made the mimic.
I genuinely think. Oh, sorry, no, I'm sidetracking. No, I can't do that.
It doesn't matter. We're man down.
Yeah, just get it over with. It's okay.
Yeah, let it all out.
I haven't played Skyrim much, but the one time I have, I did get your hands only, and then he stood there looking over my shoulder as I looked at my letter because the moment I was done with it, he said, "Ah,
What you got there?
yeah." It was basically saying, "Yeah, that's some good stuff."
It was like
you unfold your package, it's literally just weed.
That is
a bomb.
That is pretty pog.
He unroll it, it's a bomb, and he just goes, "Ah!" and runs away.
that's some good stuff. We both ragdoll.
I see you've been delivered some health salts. Would you like me to partake?
You open the package, it's this paralyzing potion, and you chug it, and you just go,
Oh, that's some good stuff.
Skooma!
Got tie-dye.
Who the fuck wears white jeans being an engineer on a fucking void ship?
Who the fuck wears white jeans? I just want jeans.
They were like pinstripe and
He's
black.
definitely worn white jeans before.
yeah, probably.
You can't say that he hasn't. He's
then-
exactly the kind of man that would.
Well, he was exactly the man that would.
I don't know, he's still around.
I don't know.
Somewhere.
I don't.
So I've seen him.
Lurking in the
I've
back,
seen him.
in the
Yeah,
darkest
he's
recess.
white in an insane asylum.
I
in
have him.
Simpsons.
I have him on
Yeah.
Discord.
in
That's
the
good.
darkest recesses
He's a
of your
Discord
mind,
Michael, you
he's
kid.
still there.
Oh yeah, I've got. Sometimes he posts on Telegram. It's crazy.
Civilian.
Yes. Sorry. I'm Rob Norris. Nelix, God damn
Rob Norris. You find out he's a traitor, but you do notice a wet patch
Soon as
grow
Jay
on
is
your
looking over
crotch.
the
You've
rules.
caught it too.
Oh no.
That's what it's transfers by the
It
eye
is.
contact.
It's a mental transference.
Because this is going to be featured in the outtakes because Jay's looking over some rules. Michael, can we get a lessons with Michael?
Fuck.
Hey.
Give us a fact, a random fact.
Don't
Any
eat
kind.
things off the ground.
No, interesting Michael fact. Go on.
Oh.
Shit. You put me on the spot.
Something about swords.
Superman's a good film. You should go watch it.
Something about swords.
Piano has
You're not Michael!
Do you...
This is not fun facts with Finn. This is lessons with Michael.
Well, fun facts with Finn is
Also, what the fuck is this
significantly
segment,
more
by the way? I've never heard of this before.
There are 88
It happened last week.
in the
Yeah.
outtakes.
Yeah.
It
It's
happens.
actually in the bloopers.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
happens. A keyboard has 88 keys.
Fun facts with Finn!
Lessons with Michael. Did you? This is a Warhammer one. Did you know that the people who document the battles of Custodes already mark it as a win before the battle even starts?
Lessons with Michael.
Oh, how about
Let's learn with our friend
Should we do rhymes with Reese?
Michael.
Yeah, sure. Rhymes with Reese.
bees and peas rhyme?
Holy shit!
Oh, da la la la.
But they don't get along. They're not good friends. They're not good friends. They don't get along very well.
We got fucking maestro.
The
over
bees
here.
don't eat the peas, and I don't know why.
Did you see
Next
that?
is explosions with Ethan.
Whoa.
Whoa! Shit! The worms are coming.
Fuck! God damn, I felt that deep within.
We heard it deep within.
Yeah.
Isn't this fun? I mean, I'd imagine from my perspective, I'm just like walking away and I hear a bang!
It's literally
Also,
it's
hold on,
every
Jay.
time you turn your back.
Me as I'm playing Shakira on my radio in my Bondsman night.
You're just walking through.
I'm on tonight.
Shock.
Shocker! Get back here.
You can't escape me.
I'll follow you to the ends of the earth.
Actually, it's a chase.
I'll chase you to the ends of the earth.
But yes, that
To the ends of the earth.
that does not.
Oh boy, I love walking across the surface of a death world on an imperial night.
Peter!
Spend a lot of Promethium to just even move this machine.
Peter, the horse is back. I think I do an amazing Lois.
We're all entitled to our
Peter,
opinion.
the horse is here.
Peter, the horse is here. See?
You sound like you're really old. You sound like an age accelerated version of Lois that really struggles to speak. You sound like current Marge.
So now what's happening?
Alright, now what's happening?
So now what's happening?
I'm interrogator Royce Verta.
He does this in character.
Voice vertigraphs.
You're like, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to say I'm an interrogator.
Boyce coup de grace.
I'm interrogator
By the way,
Royce Vertitas of the Holy Emperors.
You should probably do that again.
I am. Fuck.
Also, by the way, you're not supposed to tell your identity to get a wrath or a glory, whatever it is.
I've. No.
I'm Royce.
I'm Royce. I'm a guy. I'm a brogy.
I am.
Stop stroking Michael, Finn.
I'm sorry. That was
Oh, you are getting close there with that hand. Oh boy, he almost went in for round 3.
I'm sorry, Michael.
And back to it.
Second to.
I wish I had a metal gun in real life. First you, then me.
The only thing that would have made that worse is if he went, I'm going to touch you, and then did it.
Yes, I am on the Epstein list.
Oh my god.
That's getting cut.
That must be.
I need to be cut.
Oh, really?
But I assure you,
You don't say.
I assure you, I only went for the snorkeling.
Yeah.
All right, now.
Now back to it.
Now let's get back to it.
If you put your head in the rejuvenate bath, it gives you autism.
The worm told me that.
Oh my god, yeah.
The night house needs to take over the galaxy.
I birthed you from my jowls.
God.
The fetus splats out.
I think I feel another one coming on.
Disgusting.
It's not even like a fully grown baby. Just for 9 months has like umbilical cord.
And it just fires out, and all you hear is, as it hits the floor,
Another
wet
one
thud.
for the house.
And they just
He picks him up like fucking like Simba.
The circle of jowls.
No, and he says, and your name is Asbestos.
Yeah, and he puts him in a little model armature, and he goes,
You're going up so fast.
No, he does actually say asbestos.
"Oh, okay, that's good." So his name is actually Asbestos.
No,
Everyone just calls
him just a bit.
Asbestos.
I like the idea that his name is Asbestos, but he's just convinced everyone to say asbestos.